This is the Dan Batard Show with the Stugotz podcast.
Mike Greenberg going to join us at 11:30 from Get Up, 7 to 10 Eastern on ESPN. I'm going to make fun of him about something he said the other day. Plus, we'll talk about the Jets quarterback situation, maybe a little Tiger Woods. Izzy Gutierrez sitting in today. Dan back on Monday. Guys, I have big news here. Big news. Big company-wide email sent out this morning. I don't know if you guys were on it. I don't know if you received it yet because it's a big, big file. The Herbies are out.
Whoa.
The Herbies are out.
Whoa.
You got the Herbies?
College football's right around the corner, and the Herbies are out.
Amazing. What are the Herbies?
You don't know what the Herbies are?
I can assume.
They're spreading.
Put it on the poll. Do you know what the Herbies are? And are the Herbies spreading?
How do you spell Herbies?
Hold on. Let me check the email. Herbies. Herbies.
Wow. These are the 2018 Herbies?
These are the 2018 Herbies.
Oof.
Yes. Do you guys know what they are yet?
I know that there's a Herbies preseason special, 8 o'clock tonight on ESPN2.
So it sounds like you can't say the Herbies now.
Sounds like I got a case of the Herbies.
You can.
Do you want to check, Mike?
You can say the Herbies because it's posted on ESPN.com.
Oh, wow, they're out on ESPN.
Yeah.
But he's got the see, that's a spoiler alert right there. Like, if you want to watch the Herbies live on TV tonight, then you shouldn't read this story. I don't know what to do here. Because I want to announce some of the Herbies. This is big news. I mean,
you only know the nominees.
Yeah, do you have the results? Because I see the nominees.
Oh, hold on a
You
sec.
find out the results
I think you only have the nominees.
tonight.
Once you catch these Herbies, there's no getting away from them.
You're right. I only have the nominees, but well, no, but there's like certain teams here, like an all intangible team, which I love. I mean, how did Herbie get the gig that I've wanted my entire life?
My guess is you've maybe heard of one of the players on all intangible teams. Actually, no. I'm going to say you haven't heard of a single one.
If you set the over-under at 1 and you bet the under, you won money.
How do you not know Ed Oliver?
Who?
He's actually, I just found out about Ed Oliver last week. He's
Yeah.
supposedly supposed to be the number one overall draft pick. Defensive tackle out of Houston.
There's an
swag.
ultimate Herbie on here.
I saw that.
Like the ultimate Herbie. Ooh, biggest shoes to fill. I love the Herbies.
I'm surprised you never had the Herbies, Stu.
Oh, I've had the Herbies.
Well, once you get the Herbies, you can never lose the Herbies.
Yeah.
You can only hope to contain the Herbies,
Herbies.
as there's no cure for Herbies. Okay, so
There's another Bosa out there?
yeah, man.
Oh, my God. He's up for best pass rusher. He could win a Herbie tonight.
Oh, tonight's the big night?
Yeah,
Tonight's
8
the big
o'clock.
reveal. Yeah.
ESPN2 where we find the winners. So maybe players, it's preseason. You may not know a lot of these players, but there are certain categories there that you don't have to actually watch any of the games because look at these categories. Games I'm most looking forward to.
Miami LSU.
Best celebrity college football fan. And let me give you a little
It's got to
spoiler
be.
alert.
Go ahead.
Well, McConaughey's on there.
He is. Okay.
Yeah. Will Ferrell's on there.
All right. Okay.
Kenny Chesney. Do you know what team Kenny Chesney supports?
What team?
Tennessee.
Oh, get out.
Snoop Dogg is on there. USC. So he's going up against Will Ferrell too. Maybe they split the USC vote. And A-Rod, Miami,
Oh, please.
is a nominee for a Herbie for Best Celebrity Football Fan. But there's also Best Atmosphere.
There's also best hotels.
Yeah.
Really?
I mean, a hotel's going to win a Herbie tonight.
Wow.
How about that?
It's a lot of Herbies.
You got Hotel Red in Madison, Wisconsin, which I've been to, by the way, and it deserves a Herbie. You have the Graduate, Ann Arbor, Michigan, the Abernathy in South Carolina, Hotel at Auburn University, and the Atherton in Stillwater, Oklahoma. One of those 5 going to win a Herbie tonight.
What do you think gets like bigger placement in the hotel lobby? A Herbie or like a TripAdvisor like award?
I mean, a Herbie.
I would think so.
Yes.
Question marks that aren't actually questions
What?
is a category for the Herbie.
Huh?
Yeah. Question marks
That's a
that aren't
question.
actually questions.
Right.
You get what you
You need to go on because I have no idea what that means.
All right, I'll give you an example.
Okay.
Alabama quarterback. It's not a question mark. It's not an actual question.
Nope, that's a statement.
That is a declarative statement.
Yep.
Penn State running back.
But what if you ask it like a question?
Oh,
Penn State running
Point, yes.
Penn State running back, Georgia running back, Oklahoma quarterback,
wow.
and Michigan quarterback are your question marks that aren't actually questions.
But they are questions. How?
Everything's a question, Mike.
There's a Rodney Dangerfield also.
What?
Yeah. And a best kept secret. But if someone wins best kept secret, then the secret.
Right. And the Herbies spread everywhere.
Best bands as well. FAMU's got to win that, right? I mean, they win it every year, right?
Wow, he's awarding the national championship tonight.
What? We don't even need to
Get
play
out of here.
Yeah, he's awarding a national championship
Who's
tonight.
up there?
Miami?
No,
Who's in his Final Four?
he awards the college football playoff. So congratulations to Alabama, Clemson. Haven't seen that before. Penn State and Washington.
Wow.
Yeah. He does have
No
Miami,
reason to watch. I mean,
He does have Miami losing to Clemson in the ACC championship game, but he does say sleeper Duke.
Okay. All right.
right.
Yeah. Wait.
How many years have the Herbies been going on?
That's a good question because I'm seeing the 2017 Herbie Awards were given out in December. So it seems like last
Yeah,
year was
yeah.
postseason, but this year it's preseason.
Yeah, they have a celebration of the year Herbie from 2017, which of course went to the Miami turnover chain. I don't even know who the other nominees were.
There was a Herbie Awards in 2016.
What year? What month?
There was a 2015
But what-
Herbie Awards.
What month are they giving them out in those years?
All right, I'll find out. I think the 2015 was posted in August.
I mean-
Yeah.
Bill, is there an award you'd rather win than a Herbie? Like, would you rather win a Marconi or a Herbie?
No, a Herbie.
Yeah, Herbie. Academy Award, Herbie.
Herbie.
Nobel Peace Prize?
Herbie.
Yeah.
I think we'd all prefer to have Herbies.
Yeah.
Okay, so in 2014, I found a post that said the 14th annual Herbies. So it's now 2018. This started in 2000.
Hang on. 18.
Good job.
Hey.
You're an expert on Herbies
I have.
and math.
How about best restaurant?
I was actually setting that up for Stugotz to get wrong.
Sorry, man.
I wasn't listening.
I'm not used to actually being able to talk to Stugotz or Dan. I'm usually here when they're not.
Ooh.
What's nominated for best restaurant?
By being here when I'm not, you mean when you host a TV show every day, right?
Oh. Oh, they're going to battle.
Wow.
World star.
We're dueling here. But I think I've got a longer, bigger beef than you do. This show's been around twice as long as HQ's been around.
Let's go back to the Herbie.
I don't
That's
know
fair.
what exactly you were
No,
meaning
let's stay right here.
when you first threw that
Let's
out
stay
there.
right here. I want these guys to duke it out.
But I was going to agree with you either way.
I'm not going to duke it out with Izzy. He's asked to do that show. He's very good at doing that show, and he says yes because he gets paid for
And I
doing that show, and he
know,
enjoys doing it.
very well who is going to be there if I say no.
Ooh.
It would be you in an ill-fitting jacket.
It would not be me.
Wow.
It would not be me.
Wow.
It would be me in an info. Yes, the jacket. Yes, no question about it. But it would not be me. There's a long list they go through before they get to me.
Ooh.
I am break glass in case of an emergency. That means you're on call, but you get stuck, traffic on the way down, you get sick, you're not feeling well. Then they'll ask me last minute, and the reason the jacket doesn't fit is because I'm wearing Dan's.
So you don't want to be on the show? Or do you?
I want to be on the show every day. Are you kidding me?
So you
Yeah.
want to fight worse traffic, work with Dan for another 45 minutes, have him look at you the way he looks at you, except now on TV. Well, I guess he does it on TV here.
And make a lot more money. Cha-ching.
That's a good point.
Thank you.
The Rodney Dangerfield is named after Rodney Dangerfield because the people nominated, they get no respect.
Oh,
Right. Mike, now you've been to some of these places, right? You traveled around to see some college football games. Favorite restaurant? Giuseppe's, Columbus, Ohio. Have you
Haven't been there.
The Smoking Pig, Pendleton, South Carolina.
Haven't been there.
nice.
Jeff Ruby's, Louisville, Kentucky.
Haven't been
So
there.
we're just naming 5 restaurants in the country.
These are all nominated for a Herbie.
They're Herbie nominees.
They're Herbie nominees.
Oh, I've actually been to Soto in Atlanta.
Yeah, any good?
And
And
did you go?
solid.
Did you go this past year?
But I can't vouch for how favorite of a restaurant it is for the Herbie.
Is it Herbie worthy?
I think it's in a Drake song.
I
And then
think it's
they-
Herbie worthy, but it wouldn't be one of my favorite places in Atlanta, but it's one of Herbie's.
I feel like if you're going to win a Herbie, you need some sort of like cockroach thing or like some health code thing. Those are the good restaurants. The one that have like those, character, let's say.
Right.
So when if I see a roach walking into a restaurant, I should be excited about what I'm about to eat.
Herbie is.
What restaurant down here would be Herbie worthy?
Bull Bar.
Wow.
Touche.
Yeah.
ESPN Radio is presented by Progressive Home Insurance. Getting a quote is easier than ever. Baseball season rolls along. Tune in tonight as Mookie Betts and the Red Sox host the Indians, presented by Vivid Seats. Coverage begins at 6:30 p.m. Eastern Time on ESPN Radio, ESPNRadio.com, and the ESPN app. And now your SportsCenter update. Ravens receiver Jimmy Smith has been suspended for the first 4 games of the regular season for violating the NFL's personal conduct policy for abusing his ex-girlfriend. Richie Incognito was arrested for disorderly conduct and making threats at a funeral home where his father's body was being held. At one point, he told the employees he wanted them to cut his father's head off for research purposes. For all the latest headlines and information, tune into SportsCenter on ESPN Radio all throughout the day.
Don Le Batard.
Wasted away again in Margaritaville. Searching for my lost shaker of sand.
Stugotz.
Some people claim that there's a green person to blame.
Really?
But I don't.
I'm not
Margaritaville, baby.
This is the Don Le Batard Show with the Stugotz on ESPN Radio.
I want to get into a conversation about diners. I want to talk to Izzy about a flag football tournament that he has to travel to Denver for.
Big time.
Chris Cody in the local hour said that he got home from a softball game at 11:45 last night. I'm guessing the softball game was over way earlier than that. The drinking ended at 11:45. Is that fair? 11:44? Okay. Is that fair?
That's fair.
Yeah. Softball game was over at 8?
No, it was over like 10:30.
Okay. Drinking during the softball game?
A little before.
Pre-game?
A little bit. Maybe
Not-
one.
not
One or
d-
two.
Not during?
Maybe one during.
All right.
Did you hit any bombs?
Like in the softball game?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No.
Did you see his post? I don't mean to interrupt. It's so strange. He put on Instagram.
Yes, you do.
He put on Instagram a video of him hitting a single in softball and taking a pitch before. It seems like the strangest post to put on Instagram. Like, why didn't you wait for an actual highlight?
Look, I asked my friend to videotape me. It was my one at bat I got videotaped. I got on base. I'm not going to, like, the people want to see it.
Yep.
Have they been clamoring?
Who are these people?
Oh, so many
We
likes.
want to see Chris Cody hit a
so many
single.
likes.
How many people have watched it?
Oh, I got to look, but so many likes.
Okay. By the way, this Ohio State news, what happens to Urban Meyer may or may not break here during the show. If it does, we'll discuss it. The trustees have began their discussions. They did so at 9 a.m. this morning. We should have some sort of outcome in about 9 days. What is going on? Have you been following this story?
Since it started, yeah.
Yeah.
I haven't been eagerly awaiting this investigation and its outcome. I feel like they're just finding a way to dance around this. I'm curious to see where you're going to go with this.
Well, I think Urban Meyer should have been fired. I mean, you don't need a committee to realize what happened at Ohio State.
Uh-huh.
And I think Urban Meyer should have been fired the second they found out about this news. But Urban Meyer is going to keep his job, and Urban Meyer is going to be on the sidelines. Does Ohio State play this weekend?
You think he's going to keep it?
I think he's going to keep his job, yes.
What's the justification going to be?
He wins a lot. That he did the right thing. He did the bare minimums. I think they're Now, he did lie to the media, but I think they'll find out through this investigation that he did the bare minimum, which is reported to his superior. I want that coach. I want all coaches to do a little bit more than bare minimums when it comes to that kind of stuff.
So the university's going to come out and say, we've examined this, and while we question his moral choices by supporting this man, we still think he did just enough, so we'll keep him on as football coach. Like, you think that's what they're going to say?
Yeah. Yep, he did what he was supposed to do. The bare minimum.
I mean, coming from you, first off,
What do you mean?
well, now all of a sudden you're not okay with the bare minimum. And it's a bare minimum for a reason, and you don't even know what he did. That's what's most infuriating about this is you do an investigation.
I know he lied.
You know he lied to the media.
Yeah, I
That's
know-
all you know.
I
Is
know
that a
he's
fireable offense?
I also know a couple of weeks before he said anyone who lies should be fired.
I don't want to be put in the position where I'm defending Urban Meyer, because what's out in the media...
You're putting yourself there.
What's out in the media is pretty leading towards a conclusion that is unseemly and doesn't sit right with me. However, I would like a thorough investigation if I were accused of wrongdoing in my job. I would absolutely want this, and you're just saying react to the reports and what we have out there, which isn't the full story. Now, the full story may be worse, but you're offering him something. They're offering him something that you would love if you were in a similar position, not necessarily the exact position, but a similar position in which you were accused of wrongdoing at your job, and you just want them to can him because Brett McMurphy had a report. That's not right.
Well, what if they did this? I mean, because nobody's going to take a moral stand here, but what if they did this? Like, what if Ohio State said, you know what? We can't fire you with cause, which is the whole point. Like, if you can't find a way to fire him with cause, then you can justify it, you can excuse it, and you're just saying, well, I'm not going to pay all this money to fire him for something just because we think he should have taken more of a moral stand and fired this assistant before. It's going to cost me, whatever it is, tens of millions of dollars. Do you think that they should fire him anyway? Like, what's the reward for Ohio State for saying, okay, we're going to be moral. We won a championship recently. We're going to fire him and just eat the money and hire a coach that's not going to do this next time.
An excellent question.
Nobody's going to do that.
If you're going to fire him with cause, how do you fire someone with cause for doing the bare minimum? It's a bare minimum for a reason. You can't fire him for cause.
Shouldn't we have higher expectations for our coaches? I mean, they walk into living rooms and they ask kids, hey, come to my school. I'm going to treat you like I'm your dad, like you're my son for 4 years. Shouldn't we expect more out of our head coaches?
I expect him to look at Zach Smith and his behavior.
He's been covering up for Zach Smith since 2009.
And not just
Israel.
the domestic abuse stuff. I'm talking, this guy's just kind of gross. Like,
wait, but in 09 in Florida, it was important enough for him to have Earl Bruce drive down to Florida and talk to his grandson, okay? It was important enough then. He didn't do bare minimums then. He actually got Earl Bruce to come down. And now in 2015, all he does is call his AD, and I guarantee you, the AD, he's going to be the fall guy today. That's it. That's the guy who's going down today.
Yeah, because
he's not as important as Urban Meyer.
Urban did the bare minimum, and then above him, it's in your hands. Now you're to blame because we can win with Urban and not you. Now somebody takes the fall for the ignoring domestic violence, and Urban just kind of, skates and goes about his way.
Time for Dan to reluctantly take part in something Stugotz couldn't be happier doing.
All right, Diner Talk and the next super team in the NBA coming up next. Saw that picture, Mike, didn't you? Telling you. LeBron had this plan years ago.
Don Batard.
How much does the watch cost, Ludacris? How much?
I don't know. I got it for free. That's a good question.
Stugotz.
That's an indelicate question, right? You don't ask a woman what she weighs, and you don't ask a hip-hop star what his jewelry's worth, do you?
That's why he let me ask the question.
You really don't.
This is the Dan Batard Show with the Stugotz on ESPN Radio.
ESPN Radio is presented by Progressive Insurance. The Dan Le Batard Show with Stugotz is brought to you by Pennzoil Synthetics. Taking synthetic motor oil performance to a whole new level. Make the switch to Pennzoil Synthetics today. Guest on the Dan Le Batard Show appear via the Shell Pennzoil Performance line. And now your SportsCenter update. Ravens receiver Jimmy Smith's been suspended for the first 4 games of the regular season for violating the NFL's personal conduct policy for abusing his ex-girlfriend. Richie Incognito was arrested for disorderly conduct and making threats at a funeral home where his father's body was being held. At one point, he told the employees he wanted them to cut his father's head off for research purposes. And finally, after 116 years, the animals shown on the front of Barnum's Animals, the animal cracker packaged and sold by Nabisco, are no longer shown in cages. The gorilla, giraffe, lion, zebra, and elephant are instead shown roaming a grassland field. The change comes following a 2016 complaint from PETA. Hey, just a reminder, if doing your deck is on your to-do list this summer, put new Valspar stain on your shopping list. That way you can get all-weather protection and more inspiring color. Valspar exterior stain only at Lowe's. For all the latest headlines and information, tune into SportsCenter on ESPN Radio all throughout the day.
We complain about everything. I mean, it's a box of animal crackers. PETA, please. I mean, find something better to complain about. Better use of your time, please, okay? than telling Nabisco to change a box of animal crackers because the animals are caged like they would be in a zoo and you want them roaming some grassy land. Pete, seriously, there has to be more important animal issues out there than tackling the animal cracker box.
Does it hurt other animals to see animals on a graham cracker box behind cages, or does it hurt the kids?
I don't know. Either way, I'm eating those crackers. I mean, whether those animals are in a cage or they're roaming the grassy knoll, I am eating those crackers. I love those crackers.
Taking 2 years to get those cages off of the boxes, is that a good amount of time? Is it taking too long?
It's 2 years too long. It's a waste of time. You have to think PETA has some better things to do. There are animals, real animals, suffering out there.
You think the crackers taste better now because they're free range?
How do you play by the lawyers, though?
Yeah, I'm just going to say it. Animal crackers are overrated.
There,
really?
I said it. You have to say there, I said it.
Put it on the poll. Animal crackers overrated.
Also.
And should PETA find better use of its time, yes or no?
Also, in addition to those 2 polls, they're called animal crackers, but they're not crackers. They're cookies.
Cookies. That's
animal crackers. Cookies are crackers.
Like
Put
that.
it on the poll.
Yep. Wow. It's a good question, Mike. What do you consider it to be? I think I'm with you. I consider it to be a cookie.
In this
like
country,
crackers,
though?
I put cheese on crackers. Like I wouldn't put cheese on, I wouldn't put cheese on an animal cracker.
In England, what do they call crackers? Do they call them biscuits? I know it's like crackers and cookies are different over there.
Wafers.
Yeah,
PETA should have spent more time saying change the name to animal cookies.
Right.
That
good use of their time. Yes. Yes. Much better
more
use of their
useful
time.
for the American public.
Yeah. I mean, the animals notice. They care. Like,
I mean, I never really noticed. I just thought they were being transported from one place to the next. I didn't think they were behind a cage for anything sort of sinister.
But either way, they're locked in a box. And then someone opens the box, some kid, and he eats them.
Yeah. You're going to be digesting these animals. Is it worse that they're protected behind a cage or that you're swallowing them?
Well, Billy brought up a good point about a diner. He did so during the break. Actually, during your Sports Center.
Okay.
These are when the best conversations happen. When someone else is here doing Sports Centers, which I usually do, Billy was telling me that no good diner. Well, Billy, go ahead. Present the argument yourself.
Well, because we were talking about diners in the Herbies, because Herbies giving out his awards. I don't think there are any diners on the Herbies list, but doesn't matter. This is what we were talking about, diners. So we said, a good diner has a little character. You see a couple roaches running around. You also notice, like in a good diner, the grill always has just gunk in the corner that's been there like 10, 15 years. Yeah. Just gunk that's there. Like wash it down. They really don't wash it down. But they just kind of push all this stuff off to the side, and then it builds up, and it's, delicious.
Yeah.
Another good characteristic of a good diner, the menu, obviously, is always laminated at a good diner. And when you lift it up to look at the back, there has to be kind of a little bit of water in between.
Yeah. And if it's a little sticky, that's okay too.
The sticky's okay, but you need to have kind of like the wet menu. That the water's not like clean water, but it's like, someone just went with a rag and then they just put the menus down on top. That's a good diner.
When you sit down and you can still kind of smell the wet rag odor from wiping the table.
Oh, that's the smell.
That's another good.
No, you want to sit down and it's still dirty and they need to come over and wipe it while you're sitting there.
It better still be dirty.
Yeah.
Yes, it better still be dirty.
Another good sign is on like one of your forks. You don't want it. You want a little smudge on the fork, not on where your mouth is going, like where your hand goes. You want it to like a little smudge on the fork.
Yeah, it's interesting though, because I have a hard time normally at like fancy or regular restaurants. I'm comfortable putting my silverware directly on the table, but at these places, like I'm okay with my elbows, hands, and menu touching the semi-sticky kind of wet tables, but I'm not so sure if I want my utensils to touch that as well. So maybe you always have to get extra napkins so that you can keep your utensils on the napkin it comes wrapped in.
Here's one thing I don't get about diners. You get the water. They give everybody water. No straw. They give you your drink. There's a straw. I kind of want a straw with all of it, but I feel like it's not a diner experience if I'm drinking the tap water with a straw.
I also agreed. I also feel like it's not
Straight
a diner
out of that plastic
experience
cup.
if you're not called sugar at one point during the experience.
It's important. That is good.
Someone has to call you sugar? But you don't call anyone else sugar. Someone has to call you sugar. Right. Put that on the poll. At a diner, does someone have to call you sugar?
Yeah, but you can't call the
or
server
sweetie.
sugar.
Sweetie could be in there too.
Sweetie's not bad, but sugar's like that's when you know you're at a diner. Usually in the South, maybe even a Waffle House.
Now, Fat Chris said, I believe he just said this. Kirk Herbstreit does not go to diners.
I don't see him at a diner.
I don't see him at a diner as well, but who at ESPN do you see at a diner, like 2:30 in the morning, fries and gravy?
Next to Dan?
You don't think Herbie can go to a diner?
No, I think Herbie can go to a diner. Thank you. I know, you got distracted.
Yeah, I did.
Line.
Well,
it was perfect. Yeah,
I didn't.
Of course, Herbie can go to a diner. The question is, does he go to a diner?
Well, he's a man of the people, Herbie.
I mean, normally when you leave these primetime games, it's pretty late. These college campuses have the late night places, like they go to a Guthrie's or something. They have places open where you don't have to go to a diner.
I feel like Louis Riddick goes to a diner, but when Louis Riddick steps in the diner, he rolls up his sleeves.
Nice. No doubt.
I definitely can see, what's his face? I can see Trey Wingo at a diner. I can see him talking off the heads. Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, but 2:30 in the morning, fries and gravy?
Yep, chatting up the waitresses?
No. If he goes to a diner, he takes his own silverware.
Yeah, no, that's not a diner person.
Who at ESPN?
The Golics probably crush diners.
Oh, yes, Golics diners.
Literally crushing diners. For sure.
The Goliches.
Yeah. We should have done anyone at ESPN but the Golics.
I can see a Steve Levy, like, after a night out.
Yes,
at
I
a
see
diner
that.
for sure.
Maybe Bucci Mane.
I was just going to say Bucci Mane. Yeah. Bucci Mane and Neil Everett.
Yeah. Oh, Neil Everett. Yes.
Neil Everett for sure. Neil Everett lands and asks, where's your best diner? Yeah. Where's your best diner? Goes to the car rental place, hey, you have a diner recommendation for me?
I think he's more of the late night bar guy that has the bar fare. You know, the bar food, a couple snacks here or there with his, bartender, Jack.
Oh, Bar Bites menu, Neil Everett.
Yes.
Yes, Neil Everett looks more like the Bar Bites
and
menu.
he knows that place in whatever city that serves the cheeseburger that's not on the menu at the bar late at night after a certain hour.
So, such a great observation. Yeah, Neil Everett, Bar Bites menu, totally different than the diner.
Totally.
I feel like Diana Rossini loves the diner.
I could see her going to the diner, but I'm not going to say she loves the diner. But if you say, hey, let's go to the Waffle House, she's game.
She likes the Waffle House better than the diner.
How about Trevor Maddich?
Oh, boy.
Yes.
Oh, boy.
Yeah. He sublets a diner.
Yep.
Stan Verrett wouldn't even consider going to a diner.
No way. Get out of here. Steakhouses only.
You know who I would never see at a diner? You'd never see at a diner? Allison.
Yeah. Fair.
Right?
That's fair. Never go to a diner.
I mean, she's considered an ESPN personality at this point, right?
I think I have the winner. Russillo.
Wow.
No. Only
that guy went to UVM. I'm telling you, all they have is diners in Burlington. I know Russillo. My best friend went to school with him. The guy lived in a diner.
Yeah, but Russillo now.
No.
Russillo now maybe goes to the diner if he's been out and the sun's coming up.
Right.
And it's the only thing open.
A texter says that Lester Munson opens the diner at 5 a.m.
Yes.
I ain't got time to bleed.
Still reading the newspaper.
But a good diner never closes, right, Bill?
Yeah. I could see Russillo going to the bar and throwing the peanut shells on the floor.
Absolutely.
About Melrose.
Bar Bites.
That was quick, and I think you're right. Marty?
Oh, a diner.
Yeah.
Greenie?
Come on. Room service. Room service, 24 hours.
To his penthouse suite. Dollar Shave Club has everything we need to be ready for our show.
Ask him when he joins us in an hour if he's been to a diner recently.
But it's like, I feel like I know the answer because I feel like he has talked about eating at a diner like on a Saturday or Sunday morning. He holds court in the diner, but I feel like it's a high-end
He
diner.
thinks that's a diner. That's not a diner.
It's not,
No,
exactly.
It's just the calf at a Four Seasons.
Right.
I have a question for Greenie when he's on that you can ask him. Is Greenie the guy that puts the napkin in his shirt or on his lap?
Huh.
Oh, lap. I'm guessing Mike Greenberg in the last decade hasn't gone to a restaurant that doesn't have a cloth napkin in a ring that you have to remove the ring from.
Yeah, absolutely.
I've got a move with a napkin and it'll bring up on the other side that I don't know if anybody else does. I'd like to know if it's common or not.
What a tease.
Oh, find out what move Izzy does with the napkin.
And the next super team.
Cash more of the Dan Le Batard Show with the Stugotz, 10 to 1 Eastern on ESPN Radio and ESPN News.
Ricky always wanted to play baseball in the majors. He was playing catch before he could walk, practically lived in the batting cages. He was behind home plate more than he was home. And one day, after all that hard work, he found himself walking into a Major League Baseball stadium. After buying a ticket at the front gate. A nosebleed seat obscured by a pole, but he was in there. No, Ricky never did play in the big leagues, but he did switch his car insurance to Geico, proud partner of Major League Baseball, which saved him a lot. So, all in all, things were good.
All right, Stugotz, Izzy Gutierrez on ESPN Radio till 1 o'clock. Now, the Sueys are next week. We told you about that last segment. The Sueys are next week. They are our Oscars, our Academy Awards. It's the highest honor on the show outside of the Hakeem Nicks laugh.
They're your Herbies.
They're our Herbies. You are right. And the Herbies tonight. I mean, 8 o'clock, ESPN. How about that?
2.
On the the Herbies are on the Deuce?
Ooh.
Real? You think Herbie's upset about that? Should be. Has Herbie ever been on the Deuce? He always gets Prime Network, no? All right. Anyway. So we have a Suey category from last year. It's a short one. It's a quick one. We'll play another later. Mike, what do you have for us here?
This is always one of the favorites of the Batard listening audience. It is the 2017 edition of the nominees for Best Stugotz Mispronunciation.
And now, the Suey nominees for Best Stugotz Mispronunciation. Warm. Many of my friends. Soliciting.
Soliciting.
Totality. Superstitious. Coach. I think that's peanut. Steak sauce.
Sauce.
Histrionics. Gut over.
Get out.
Refund. Sample size. Martial arts.
Martian out.
Iron. Job.
Cody does such a great job of reading those.
And I do such a great job of not being able to read.
It's magical.
Or speak.
You have this tendency where the second you make an error, the slightest of errors, you bring more attention to it by saying, rather than just kind of powering through, right?
Yeah. Is that what you're saying moving forward? I just need to power through.
Yeah, you just need to not do that every time there's a mistake.
That's what he said. LeBron is a better offensive player than KD. That's not debatable. Offensive player. KD is a purer scorer than LeBron.
Sorry, guys,
that is true.
false alarm. But Stephen A was actually standing, delivering a take. And
I saw it.
I had to run over there as soon as I saw that.
They made a great topic out of this photo that you've seen that we've been teasing for an hour now. On the next super team, they made that topic of the photo that includes Kevin Durant, LeBron James, and Kawhi Leonard into which two of these three would you take?
We'll get into that later. Mike, play that Suey one more time, please.
Average, I'm looking at the assertiveness. When I talk about Lonzo Ball, for example, who has no business being in this conversation for any other reason. Right the only reason I bring him up is because I've never excoriated Lonzo Ball's talent. What I said was, you got to be assertive.
You are asserting the idea without backing it up that assertiveness is the most important thing. Assertiveness
is not important.
It's important, but it's
if you're not elite, if
you find KD is more assertive than LeBron in crunch time? Because their track records would suggest otherwise.
Well, you can say that, and I would say to you that there's been a long, long time that LeBron James was not assertive.
We're not talking about that. We're talking about now.
Oh, that last year you got me.
No.
Last year you got me 1 year.
Last 5 years.
I disagree with that.
What was the final MVP against the 73-win Warrior team?
So what?
The reason that KD's on the Warriors is because LeBron had an all-time great performance.
Who's the one that went off about that? That would be me. But make no mistake about it. The NBA did give the Golden State, the Cleveland Cavaliers, that stimulus package. Don't get me started with that.
Let me explain.
Don't get me started with that stimulus package.
Let me explain to you who LeBron is. LeBron, I used this analogy the other day, okay?
Yeah.
LeBron is Thanos, right? And
I don't know what you're
talking about. And the Warriors are all the superheroes put together. And it still doesn't matter. Lebron still beat him. I mean, he needed Kyrie. Everyone needs a little something.
Really? Do I need to get hold on. Do I need to get my boy? Do I need to get my boy? Hold on. Do I need to get my boy Shiggy from Instagram? One game? One You couldn't get one game? Don't give me the LeBron. You got swept. You got swept.
You don't need to get shiggy. You're the original guy.
We're far afield here. 73.
Man. Oh, Max.
I mean,
Max.
It's the first time we've ever kept Max on.
Wow.
Yeah.
Vacation was good to Max. The training sparring sessions that he had with Will Kane, Max took it to him.
I've never heard two people yell over each other so successfully while you still hear and understand everything each are saying. That's amazing. It's a skill, and it's amazing.
Try to understand what I'm saying. Play that suey category again, Mike.
And now, the Suey nominees for Best Stugotz Mispronunciation. Warm. Many of my friends. Soliciting.
Solicitating.
Totality.
Superstitious.
Coach.
I
think
that's
Peanut. Steak sauce.
Sauce.
Histrionics.
Got
over.
Get out.
Refund. Sample size. Martial arts.
Martian app.
Iron. Job.
I think that is a doozy. I mean, just an absolute beauty.
I love how Cody says, I think that.
Yeah.
Peanut.
We can actually make an announcement. It was this category last year that got the award show council thinking. And you know the Oscars, they don't have the same host every year. Historically, Poppy has been the host of the Sueys, but we are proud to announce this year a new host for the entire Suey Awards this year, Mr. Greg Cody.
Wow. That is a big deal.
Wow.
He went from hosting the PPPPIIs at home to doing this. That's a big upgrade for him.
It's a gala.
I'm sorry. It's a gala.
Mm-hmm. Speaking of big deals, Mike Golick, I mean, he is just peppering me. We're in his wheelhouse, talking about diners and food. He sent me a picture of his Waffle House card. I asked him how many other restaurants have sent him something similar. He says it's a GC, by the way, gift card. I call it a Golick card.
Really?
Yeah. Waffle House, Mike's being serious here. These are other restaurants that have sent him basically free food. Waffle House, Subway, Pizza Hut, KFC, probably a couple of more. Don't remember right now. There have been so many.
This is senior, right? Not Gojo?
This is senior, yeah.
Man, gift cards. Yeah, that's a whole different bag right there. They're just giving you food.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying. I mean, but Golick's earned it, right?
I believe he has eaten enough in his life to earn it, I guess, right? That's the requirement, just eat a lot.
Stugotz, didn't you kind of help with that, with the donut stuff? I feel like him eating those donuts really put him on the map.
I don't think.
I put Golick on the map?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
He's liking this idea. Yeah.
Bill, let's put that on the poll. Did I put Golick on did Stugotz put Golick on the map?
I wouldn't blame him.
Just put it on the poll.
I wouldn't blame Golick if he took terrible offense to this question.
He'd probably be.
Did Stugotz put Golick on the map? Just make it a poll question, okay?
Are you guys good with gift cards? I'm terrible with gift cards. I have like a whole Ziploc bag full of gift cards that I need to use because they're going to expire. They start losing value.
Mm-hmm.
I always tell myself I'm going to have a gift card day where I just go and start spending all my gift cards, but never do. And then there's another problem. Sometimes when you go to use your gift cards, the employees don't know how to use the gift cards. You
got to scratch the little thing on the back and get the code.
It's a whole thing because they put in like debit card or whatever. So then you're scanning it and they're like, there's nothing on it. It's like I wrote in Sharpie, there's $15 left on this gift card. I called yesterday. I know there's money on there. But for whatever reason, they tell me, no, you'd have to call again. I have $90 in one restaurant in like 7 different gift cards. I can't use because the employees never really work the gift cards properly. So then that makes me never want to use gift cards, but I have so many. Do you guys use gift cards when you get them?
I would hate to be behind you in line at Target. But I try to answer your question, I try to use all my gift cards immediately so that I don't have the problem that you're having.
Well, but I try to save them for the right thing because I don't want to just go spend the money to spend the money. I want to wait and make a special purchase.
I re-gift them. Yeah. I re-gift them. That was the line that was supposed to end this. Anyway, coming up next, the NBA's next super team.
Money, 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 money.
Billy, I think that's me. That's on me. I think I stepped on you. I did. I just barged my way in there. That's on me. My bad.
You're coming back from vacation. It's cool.
Rusty. It's a fine for me. I'm fining myself. I have no money, though. I really don't.
It's actually the opposite. You didn't blame anybody else for your mistake. You blamed yourself.
All right, but I feel bad about the mistake.
$1.
Well, okay. I need $1. I have no money today. Grab the wrong pile of stuff. The wrong pile of stuff.
Just put a pile of stuff in your pocket.
No, what I grabbed there were 2 piles.
Accidentally have some yarn.
Probably get a wallet. But one pile has just a bunch of papers. Some guy's card from a cannabis company that I met on an airplane. Wants to do Stugotz. And I have an expired license. The other pile has the money, the active license, the credit card, the debit card, all that.
Can I see that pile?
It's at home.
No,
why
that
does the
pile
expired license pile even exist?
I don't know. I do not know why I have the expired license here.
Why do Florida licenses break where they break, too, by the way?
See that? There's the Stugotz guy.
Hey, now you're editing. Now you're not letting me see the whole pile. You're just going through.
No, go ahead. There's a dental appointment card in there. There's a whole bunch of stuff in there and a receipt. Here's some receipts. You can go ahead and look at them.
Thanks.
Don Le Batard.
Give us as much as you can here. Take us up to the dramatic first pitch, Billy.
Jose Urena standing at the back of the mound. He reaches down. He's rubbing some dirt and rosin on his hands. And here we go.
Stugotz.
And the pitch. Oh, God, a home run on the first pitch of the game. Oh, my God.
Welcome, Derek Jeter. And that concludes our Marlins coverage for the season.
This is the Don Le Batard Show with the Stugotz on ESPN Radio.
Get in touch with us through the 1-800-Flowers Twitter feed at Le Batard Show at Stugotz790. It's time for Straight Talk, brought to you by Straight Talk Wireless. Best phones, best networks, no contracts.
Stephen A. is crying on first take.
LeBron doesn't affect my feelings, but this does. LeBron doesn't affect me, but damn it, Tiger Woods does.
You see why he gets the job on General Hospital. Look at that.
Wait a minute.
We need to see Brick in a crying scene.
Wait a minute. So he was ranked 1,199th, and in a span of less than a year, 14 starts, 14 tournaments later, he's down to 26th in the world. I mean, this is, I really, really appreciate it. And it's very, very touching.
The GOAT, man. Stephen A. Anyway. Greeny going to join us in about 10 minutes. What's this MMA story you've been telling me about?
Oh, you haven't heard about this guy.
I have not heard about it.
Oh, no. Man, it's so gross. So there's this guy, his name's Bryce Mitchell. He's a UFC fighter. Mm-hmm. So on Tuesday afternoon, he sent this as an Instagram post or a tweet, I'm not sure. This is going to be tough to read, so I'm going to do it slowly, so make sure we don't get in trouble here.
Okay.
But he says, so I was going to train today, but I ripped my, so it's a 2-syllable word, one of which I can say, sack, in half. I'm about to get stitched up. I was holding a board over my head with it's a good place to keep this, a drill in my pants. I was sizing up the board, and the drill went off and tangled my stuff up in it. I dropped the board and reversed the drill and untangled my sack, but they was ripped in half. I'm serious too, LOL. I obviously can't post a pic, but when my are sealed back up, I'ma come train again. I think a high kick would rip them. Ha ha. And if I hear any blank puns about how this whole thing is nutty or screwed up, I ain't talking to you for a month. He posted a picture of his boxer shorts, Stugotz. Have you seen this yet? Have you found it?
This story is nuts.
It's
What? How?
It's terrifying. It's terrifying, this picture of his boxers.
Oh, my God.
It's just a bloody mess. And think about a couple of things here, as if you weren't grossed out enough by that pain there, right? So you've got the drill in your pants, and it goes off on your junk. And then you actually have to have the wherewithal to set the drill to reverse, undrill yourself, and then you can cry for pain or cry from the pain and get it fixed. You have to go through the process of undrilling your sack in order to then get to the bloody mess and hope that it can survive.
The whole thing is nutty. What? You said he wouldn't talk to me for a month? Make any nutty jokes? Good. That is disgusting. And you're right. The wherewithal to be able to reverse that drill. That is. But why do you have a power drill in your pants?
I mean,
I don't know. It's a burden every day.
Give yourself the laugh. Of course.
I heard Roy gave a life hack yesterday of holding a clothespin, or 2 days ago, I'm not sure, a clothespin while you hammer a nail into the wall. What do you have to put around your junk, Roy, to avoid drilling your sack?
A clothespin.
A clothespin. Got it. All right, life hack. That's a lot of applause from the audience right there. What exactly do you put a clothespin on?
Don Batard.
Didn't you say you were going to clean up your diet today so that you would be more alert and just better at this in general?
I jogged today. I ate healthy today. And by healthy, I had a pepperoni pizza.
I was going to say, you made Chris Cody order you a pepperoni pizza.
It's healthier than what I had on Friday, man. Baby steps.
Stugotz.
Stugotz.
A little pepperoni pizza, Dan.
You promised on all. You promised.
Do you know the health benefits of pizza?
This is the Don Batard Show with the Stugotz on ESPN Radio.
Mike Greenberg going to join us in just a second here on the Shell Pennzoil Performance Line. You can check him out every day. Get up 7 to 10 a.m. Eastern on ESPN with Michelle Beadle and Jalen Rose. Greeny joins us right now. You have your diner questions. You have a napkin question for Greeny. You have those ready, Iz?
Sure.
Okay. Greeny, and we'll talk some Jets football as well. Greeny joins us right now. Hello, Greeny.
Fellas, good morning. How are you?
We're doing okay. How are you?
I'm excellent. I'm sitting around basking in the notion that you wanted to have me on to talk Jets football on this day. I think that is very exciting.
Well, listen, Dan's away. Otherwise, we can never pull this off. So.
Yeah, and don't get me wrong. I don't want to talk Jets anything with you or otherwise.
Well, listen, Greeny, the reason I wanted to have you on is because Will Kane is making this big deal, and he seems puzzled by the fact that he's asking the question, will Jet fans boo after 4 games if the Jets get off to a 1-3 start and Sam Darnold doesn't play well? And I said 4 games. We won't last 4 possessions. We'll start booing him then if he's not playing well. Greeny, can you explain the best way you can what it's like to be a Jet fan? And do you agree with me that we will boo inside of 4 possessions if Darnold's not very good?
Well, I hope that this is part of the reason that I have been all along on record as saying I don't want him to play immediately. The description of being a Jet fan that I would offer is, imagine having someone reach into your heart, pull your heart out, throw it on the floor, stomp on it, then pour gasoline on it, set fire to it. That's pretty much how it feels to be a fan of the Jets. They're not the worst franchise in sports. They're not just always terrible. But what they are is they find the most excruciating ways to lose when they have an opportunity throughout my lifetime. And so you have those moments of just despair and excruciating pain. Now, having said that, let's get to the second part of it.
That was well said, by the way, Greeny. Listen, I just say it. I go a lot shorter than that. I just simply hate being a Jets fan. But anyway, go ahead.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's my father, who was a wonderful father. I've always said he had 2 bad qualities. One was that he dissuaded me from playing golf as a kid, and the second was he saddled me with this fandom. So as far as the rest of it is concerned, Josh McCown is there for a reason, right? Josh McCown is on the Jets and being paid $10 million this year. And as I frequently said, he shouldn't have a number on his jersey. He should have a bridge. There should literally be a bridge on his jersey because that's exactly what he is. He is the perfect bridge quarterback, and he should be the quarterback. I'm not 100% convinced that Teddy Bridgewater isn't a really, really good quarterback who is sitting there on the roster, but I believe they should trade him because I think that there will be value in trading him, and clearly the future of the Jets is going to be Sam Darnold, and that brings us to him. I don't think they should be booing anybody because I don't think he should be playing. The kid is 21 years old. He left 2 years of college eligibility on the table in college, and I think that it is the smartest thing to do is to bring him along. The Jets are not going to win anything of consequence this year regardless of what happens. So the most significant thing they can accomplish this season is develop the quarterback. And if you think throwing him out there week one when he has seen nothing but vanilla looks and all this kind of stuff to struggle and get booed and get hit a lot is a good idea, then that's what they should do. But I don't think it's a good idea. I think they should play Josh McCown for a while and then bring the kid in when he has had some time to be more ready and when all things that you might be thinking about a season have been lost, which is to say fans will boo because we're 1-3. But if the Jets are 2-7 and then put him on the field, then everyone will just watch it for what it is meant to be, which is the development of a young quarterback. So I'm not in favor of playing him week one regardless.
All right, Mike, so I know you think they shouldn't boo. I'm telling you they're going to boo, and I offer this as proof because this is what happened to Mark Sanchez, who took the Jets to back-to-back AFC championships. This is what Jet fans did to him shortly after he took his team to back-to-back AFC championships.
Tebow, I want you in the second half. I want you to know. Tebow, Sanchez.
Greeny, again, I'll remind you, at least in my lifetime, that was the best 2-year run the Jets ever had, and that's what fans did to that quarterback shortly after that 2-year run.
You promised me you would stop airing that tape. It's not my best moment. I'm embarrassed by it to this day. I recognize that all of that and the begging for Tebow stuff is a bad look on me now. But look, I mean, I think you could substitute practically any group of football fans on any team, and that's how it would sound after a 2-game losing streak and the quarterback has thrown a bunch of interceptions. So I don't know that is specific to the Jets as much as it is. That's just sort of the way football sounds when the team is bad and the quarterback is bad. And that has pretty much been the soundtrack of all of us who have rooted for this team for the overwhelming majority of 50 years. I mean, basically, since the heyday of Name It, they've been trying to get this thing right, and there was a little tiny, flash of Vinny Testaverde and a little flash of Chad Pennington and a 2-year flash of Mark Sanchez handing the ball off. But for the most part, we've been waiting for this kid. Everything says this kid has a chance to do it right, but you have to develop him right. You have to surround him with the right people. The quarterbacks, I think, are every bit as much a product of the circumstances into which they are placed as they are their own abilities. So let's place him in the right circumstances and let us not rush him onto the field because we're excited about it.
Greeny, if you put a picture of a bridge on McCown's jersey, would that not be confusing with Teddy Bridgewater also on the team?
Yes.
Here's the other thing about that. It's a point well taken. Teddy Bridgewater is good, and he's 25 years old, and if his knee has made a miraculous recovery, that guy is an upper echelon. I don't know where you put him, but before he got hurt in Minnesota, was he a top 12 quarterback in the National Football? I mean, I don't know where you put him, but he should have won a playoff game. He absolutely beat Seattle in a playoff game, and the kicker missed the equivalent of an extra point that would have beaten the Seahawks in a playoff game a couple of years ago, and then he tore up his knee. Teddy Bridgewater, I think, might be a really good quarterback waiting to happen, and I believe that as soon as there is an injury someplace, the Jets should be able to get a pretty significant trade made with him. And I wouldn't be totally uncomfortable saying he might be the quarterback of the future. But they've made the decision. They've invested in Darnold, and it's the right thing to do. I'm not saying otherwise. But I think Bridgewater is pretty good.
So do I. Keep him around, Gritty. I would. I feel the same way. I would keep Teddy. All the injuries to quarterbacks, I would absolutely keep Teddy Bridgewater water on the roster, at least for this season. We'll get to the diner in just a second. But, Greeny, Tiger came out and said, you're a big golfer. You love golf the way I do. Tiger came out and said one of his best years ever this year. I understand why he's saying that, even without winning a major championship. He was close to the final two. I've been on vacation for a while, Greeny, so put me there. Put me wherever Mike Greenberg was. Sunday, final round, PGA. Tiger having his best final round ever in a major. Put me there.
Screaming, and the British Open was just as good. And the thing about this guy is he makes the Valspar feel like the Ryder Cup. And he made Sunday at the PGA, which is the fourth and least appreciated major championship, feel like the Super Bowl. It felt like the entire world stopped and paid attention because he is the biggest and most watchable star in sports today. And there is something about this year. I understand what he's saying. There is something about this year that has been remarkable to watch. And obviously it hasn't been what he was at his apex when he won the Tiger Slam and actually held all four major championships at the same time. But I understand why he would say this, because this was something we never were going to get again. This was over. You and I would have both, I'm sure we had this conversation, you and I, over the course of time, that we'll never see Tiger again playing in a meaningful way in anything, much less a major, much less having a chance to win one. And I'll tell you what, I believe he will win a major championship next year, and I think that if and when he does, let the conversation about Jack Nicklaus start again. The stuff that we saw from him on that Sunday at the PGA was the stuff of magic. That guy missed as many fairways as you do on a regular day, Stugotz, and he was 5 under par. So that was a magical round of golf. It was vintage Tiger Woods, and it was probably, I need to give it some thought here, but I think it might have been the most exciting event that I saw in sports in 2018.
We did have that conversation, by the way, on the golf course. I said Tiger would win another major. I did that while sandbagging my handicap to beat you. You're still mad about that, aren't you?
It's a frustrating day. Yes, indeed it was. I love it when I shoot 83 and lose.
Well, great. Listen, I got to be honest. I gave my handicap from the Blues. I showed up. You want to play from the Whites, and I didn't adjust my handicap from there. I mean, that's on you. I don't know what to tell you. Diner. Last time you were in a diner, Greedy. We've had this conversation about diners all morning. Last time, and we're trying to imagine if Mike Greenberg's ever been to a diner like 2:30 in the morning, sitting over a plate of fries and gravy. Last time Mike Greenberg's been to a diner.
I go to diners all the time, but not at 2:30 in the morning. But that is, I go to the diner for breakfast every Saturday and Sunday morning of my life. I am from New York. In New York, we call them coffee shops, and I eat breakfast in a coffee shop. I don't do it because I work so early in the morning, so I'm not going to a coffee shop before I get to my place of work at 5 o'clock in the morning. But on days that I'm not working, I eat in a diner or a coffee shop breakfast literally every single day.
Where do you place your napkin?
Oh, wow. It's a good question.
Well, the napkin begins, so the napkin is a paper napkin that is underneath the place setting, right? You've got the silverware on top of the napkin. I like to leave the silverware on top of the napkin because I don't want to put the silverware on the booth that has been wiped down with that one rag that they use to wipe down every single booth all day long and probably haven't washed since sometime in the late 70s.
Smells good.
So I leave the napkin there and invariably will ask for, and now the place that I go regularly, they already know, they bring me a whole stack of other napkins, which sit there next to, and not on my lap, they sit next to the plate, and they are ready for whatever use that I require of them.
You hold court in that coffee shop, don't you? You do a sports show, don't you?
No, I mean, it's usually with my kids, all kidding aside. Okay. My daughter, Nikki, who is going to be 18 years old next month, ate her first ever solid food in that diner, in the diner that I eat in all the time in the town in Connecticut where we live. She had an open-faced turkey sandwich. She was it was July 4th, so she was about 10 and a half months old, and the first time she ever ate solid food was in that diner. So the diner and the whole diner coffee shop thing is very near and dear to my heart.
All right, Granny, we miss you here on the radio, but love and get up. Check it out every morning, 7 to 10 a.m. with Michelle and Jalen. Of course, Mike Greenberg is the host. Check it out on ESPN, excuse me. Mike, thank you so much for the time. We appreciate it.
Good to talk to you again, guys. I'll see you soon.
All right, Greeny.
Catch more of the Dan Le Batard Show with the Stugotz, 10 to 1 Eastern on ESPN Radio and ESPN News.
I have some breaking news on the Urban Meyer front. He's entered the building.
He's here?
The building where the Board of Trustees are having their meeting.
Oh.
Urban Meyer is now in the same building.
He's been there for a little bit. Yeah. About an hour.
But now we have someone stationed outside that building for ESPN, whom I've never seen before.
Looks like a wrestler, though. Doesn't he look like a wrestler?
He does. He looks like
a collegiate wrestler.
He looks like he looks like Ohio.
I mean, that's absolutely accurate.
Thank you. He is standing outside. Some lady on the board is well, whatever.
You don't have to give a full play-by-play of what you're seeing on television.
She was struggling to get up the stairs. I felt bad for her. Someone should have helped her out.
Different heights, walking into a building.
This is B-roll. This is B-roll. You don't need to break down the
I know, but she was struggling, the poor old lady, and I felt terrible. Now they're shaking hands. The board is shaking hands.
Again, this is not a live shot of the board.
And there's Ohio again. Ohio is standing outside the building. And there are 2 old-school 10-speed bikes. I'm guessing this guy took a bike to work, right? There are 2 old-school 10-speed bikes on the wall, leaning up against the wall right behind him in the shot.
Look like beach cruisers.
The building number is 2020.
2200. Close.
Oh, correction. Sorry. 2200. David Lloyd hosting SportsCenter. And they have moved on. To the AL West, Astros, A's, hot race.
Is this how you do the show when Dan is gone? You got a good 10 minutes from Stephen A., and then you just give play-by-play.
Time for the AL West lead. I mean, listen, how about the A's? Is Billy Beane still there? He's at it again. Billy Beane. And the Astros are the best team in baseball, and here Billy Beane is with a name an A. Go ahead. I dare you. Name an A. Altuve made his first start, by the way, in a while. Correa's back. He's been back for a little bit here. So the Astros are just fine. And he grounded out the first. Now Josh Reddick is up. Name an A, I dare you. Josh Reddick hit a bomb. Monster dong. Astros up 2-1, top 4.
Oh, man.
How about that?
Josh Reddick was going to be my guess on Name an A.
And a very smoky night at Safeco. What's going on there? Oh, Pearl Jam concerts a couple of days ago. Nelson Cruz is back. He struck out. 3-2 Astros, bottom 8. Meeting at the mound, first and third. And it's D. Gordon. Yeah. D. Gordon struck out. Astros win the game 3-2. They were playing the Mariners. Now we have to see what the A's did. They played the Rangers. So the A's play the Rangers. Brett Anderson on the hill. He's on the bump. .92 ERA in August. I mean, listen, if they gave us Cy Young out for just August alone, it would be Brett Anderson. How about that? He just struck out a Ranger. It's 1-0 A's top 4. And he just got a ground out to short, but oh, good. They got it in time. Still 1-0 through 4. Oakland up. Chris Davis having a monster season. And he spells it with a K. How about that? Chris Davis spells his name with a K. He's got 3 homers last 2 games. I think he's got like 40 on the year. I drafted him. Someone is signing. It was Heathcliff Slocum signing the back of his jersey. How about that? Chris Davis, dong on Monday. Monster.
That person.
But that was Monday.
That person looked nothing like Heathcliff Slocum.
I mean, I want to weave in a salad. Anyway, what happened there? Chris Davis, second time this month with home runs in 3 straight games. This guy's an MVP candidate. The A's went on to win 6-0. They are 76-50. Anderson, 7 innings, 8 Ks. Cy Young, August. Chris Davis is crushing it with a K.
With a K.
How about that? He's tied for the ML lead, 38 dongs, 26 homers versus the Rangers last 3 seasons, 3rd straight 100 RBI season. Underrated player. And that's what Billy Beane does. He sees value where others don't, and that's why he's great.
There is a career out there for doing play-by-play of SportsCenter.
I'm the guy.
You can do an entire segment. I don't think I've laughed.
Oh, there are the Nick Foles and the Eagles. Let's see what's happening here. David Lloyd, SportsCenter. Oh, look. Oh, yes, it's the injury. It's the Patriots sacking Nick Foles. He hurts his hand. This is after Brady blew him off. Fumble. Patriots recover. But Nick Foles will play tomorrow. I'm reporting it. At Broncos, Foles playing, done. Actually, listen, this SportsCenter better get on it. I mean, they better get on it. I mean, seriously, a team of producers, and I knew it was at Browns. I don't know why they put that graphic up there. That's ridiculous.
Can everybody else hear as clearly as I can? The guys in the shipping container?
Nick Foles has the red on, and so does Carson Wentz. And there are two other quarterbacks. Name an A, by the way. Name an A. I dare you. Anyone, at any point during this segment, name an Oakland A. Go ahead, I dare you. Now we got Doug Peterson, his gray hair. He's always got the visor on, and he's always got a little piece of hair just flapping over the visor. Looking like Myrtle Beach. Let's get Foxy's thoughts. John Fox on set with Nicole Briscoe right now, ESPN NFL analyst. Fox has been pretty good, I gotta be honest. They are trotting him around the studios there up in Bristol, and Fox has been, he said some stuff.
He stands like
I
don't remember a single thing he said, but he is talking. John Fox. And a great tie. Striped tie, solid shirt underneath, gray suit. He is saying that he's confirming what I reported, that Foles will indeed play tomorrow, and he's got the right team. It's the Browns. Foles playing against the Browns. So good job by Foxy. A terrible job by Lloyd and Briscoe.
He looks fantastic.
Foxy does. Or Nick Foles.
Yeah.
Foxy.
I think Wentz looks fantastic. We forget Carson Wentz, MVP, before he went down. And listen, my personal record book still doesn't have a Super Bowl ring. How about that? Nick Foles really, really struggling. And that hit looked gruesome. Ooh, I can't believe he's playing tomorrow. I mean, he's a gamer. He is a gamer. Yeah, I can't believe. Does Foxy have anything to say about the report that he will play? The shoulder's healed. He's fine. His feelings are fine after being blown up by Tom Brady. Anything from Foxy?
Well, he'll play.
Hold on. Hold up.
He stands there like a butler.
He's got his arms crossed. Coming up. Bad timing for the Chapman injury. Aroldis Chapman, Yankees, got hurt. We'll tell you about it coming up next. And there's a new super team in the NBA. I'll tell you all about it next.
Chris Davis.
Splash.
Name the name.
With a K.
Crushing it. Playing a Reese's Peanut Butter Cup commercial. Oh, look good. Do you, with the Reese's Peanut Butter Cup? I'm serious. I think we do a show where it's me commenting on TV.
Yeah.
Guys, this is an important question. I love Reese's Peanut Butter Cups. After peanut M&Ms, my favorite candy. Do you eat the edges first and then go in? Like outside in, or you just bite right into it? Because I'm telling you, if you eat the edges all the way around and then break them in half, the middle, different experience.
Different flavors.
And a better candy.
Yep. You get the very chocolatey portion on the outside, and then you get the more smushy peanut butter part on the inside.
Thank you.
Totally different candies if you eat it that way.
Yep. That, Chris?
That's a good way to eat it.
Izzy, man.
I'm with you.
Crushing it.
Don Le Batard.
If you watched the interview last night that he did with Al Troutwig, I believe. It was a fossil, by the way. Anyway, if you...
Why did you take out Al Troutwig?
Troutwig, please. Oh, seriously. Well polished Al Troutwig. I got issues with Al Troutwig that go way, way back. Way back. Way back.
Go on.
I just don't like the guy, man.
Stugotz.
Put this on the poll. When I say the name Al Troutwig, do you imagine him wearing a wig made out of trout?
This is the Don Le Batard Show with the Stugotz on ESPN Radio.
Israel Gutierrez is sitting in for the next couple of days. Are we getting, guys, are we all in? We have a big golf match coming up.
This is why I'm here. This is why I said yes to doing radio these 3 days, so that I can lock you in to our golf on Saturday.
I am locked in. I'm telling you, I was planning on going to, Mike knows me. If I was going to bail, I would have bailed already.
Mm-hmm. Mike does know you based on that laugh.
No, Mike knows me. I was going to go. I wanted to go see Dead and Company at the Lock-In Festival in Virginia. I wanted to go to this music festival. I am not going. Mike was, I asked Mike. I needed to take Monday off. Mike said, you just came off vacation. You're not going. So I am here.
He asked me this 10 days ago.
I did. So we're playing golf Saturday. And I'm a little worried because it doesn't seem like everyone's in. Chris, is your dad in?
Yeah, we're both in.
You're both in?
Yeah.
Mike, you're in. You're my partner, Mike.
Yeah, I'm super in.
You're in. Izzy, you and your partner are in?
Yes.
Okay.
100%. Even when golfing this weekend to practice.
Now, what are we doing here? Best ball?
Best ball.
I feel like the Codys are the favorites.
I'm telling you the Codys are the favorites because I got an anchor in Mike, and Izzy's partner has an anchor in Izzy.
I'm a bit of an anchor.
So it's basically me versus Izzy's partner.
I have an anchor, too, in my dad, but I think I have the best anchor.
Oh, nonsense.
The most experienced anchor.
Nonsense.
I have the best dressed anchor.
Yes.
Well, I don't know. Israel.
Oh, well, that's the real competition on Saturday. Who's going to look more fly out on the links?
Mike came to my golf course in the middle of the summer.
Yeah.
Middle of the summer, dressed like Ricky Fowler. Pants. Bright shirt.
Black pants.
Rookie move.
Middle July. I'm telling you, he was the best dressed guy at my golf course. The best dressed, the worst golfer, but the best dressed guy at my golf course.
Had a few moments, though. The bump and run.
That's all it is. It's about moments. The bump and run was great.
I was a beast with a hybrid.
Yeah.
You need to have your putting game on because I don't want to bother with putting. I call myself mid-range Mikey.
Okay.
So mid-range Mikey, he'll help you out. Sue off the tee and on the greens, but mid-range Mikey, that's where mid-range Mikey comes and he really shows up. And that's where you're in trouble with best ball.
On best ball, though, with 4 people, you can hide someone, where someone can just chip in every once in a while. With 2 people, best ball, you got to be contributing.
Listen, all I want from Mike, that's it. Just contributions. Just a shot here or a shot there. Make a long putt every now and then. Just give me something. I'll take care of the rest.
Telling you right now, I'm not going to make a long putt. No. But you will get mid-range Mikey. He's a guarantee.
What do you do on the tee? What does Mike look like?
What I do on the tee is I usually slice one.
Okay.
Very rarely will I hit one straight.
Do you always try to bomb, or do you just try to...
I try to look good while I do it. Yeah, I don't try to,
Mike
make
doesn't care about his game. He just wants to look good.
I just want to look good, drink some beers.
So if I outdress you, you'd be broken from the second we get out there.
The real competition for me... I was under the impression we were giving out 2 trophies, one for the actual winner and one for best looking.
Might have to let you win this one.
We are giving out. No, you're right. We are. Who's responsible for these trophies? Best dressed and what are the stakes here? I'm telling you right now. Okay, we're playing on the white tees. It's a Saturday morning. The course is very, very busy. Chris, we have 3 people who never played golf before. 3.
We're all playing.
What are you talking about? Who are these 3 people?
It was Chris's dad.
The white tees, me and my dad are going to be like 100 yards out on every hole.
No, it's a long course.
Okay.
It is.
It's a long course. Even from the whites, it's a long course.
I've got the advantage here, Stugotz, of playing this course before. I know every nook and cranny.
All the breaks.
I know every single place I was searching for a ball.
Do we have any stakes on this? I will also tell you this. 1 breakfast ball off the first tee. That's it.
Breakfast ball?
Breakfast. And then 1 mulligan per 9.
One mulligan.
That's how we do it. That's how we do it, too.
Yeah, you get 1 mulligan.
So you get a free shot, first hole, first drive. Then a mulligan per 9, in addition to that drive. Anywhere you want on the course.
Yeah.
You can do a mulligan on a putt if you want.
Got a spoiler alert. That mulligan's coming early.
I never knew these things. I feel really cool now. What's a breakfast shot?
It's the first ball. You're a little bit rusty.
He doesn't know what a breakfast shot is. Neither do I.
Mike, why don't you explain it?
No, you go ahead.
Okay, go. I got it. Well, breakfast, Fat Chris, you want to explain this?
It's a mulligan on the first shot of the day.
Right.
Your breakfast ball is your first shot of the day. You get 2 off the first tee, basically.
Okay.
Right. I was going to say the exact same thing.
Unless the first one's good.
Yeah, then you can keep it. But does it give you an extra mulligan? Do you get to save breakfast for lunch?
Some people eat breakfast for lunch.
Right.
On the 10th tee.
Brunch ball.
Well, no, then you need to use it. So after that shot, you then need to use your mulligan on the front 9. And then you get another mulligan on the back 9.
You cannot save your breakfast ball.
Can I save my mulligans and use 2 for the back 9?
No. Wow. No.
Can I burn up 2 mulligans on the front 9?
No.
Wow. Can I burn up 3 and pretend you guys forgot count?
Can I earn a 3rd?
Can I phone a friend?
Are there any stakes attached to this?
Yeah, let's put some money on it.
I'm down.
Let's put some entertainment value on it.
We have a couple of days here because Israel's going to be with us the rest of the week. Do you guys want to make it something show specific, something that embarrasses the losing teams? How, do we want to let the audience involve them? I
don't want to do any more sort of grid of death punishments.
Because it's right around the corner, right?
Well, I have some news.
Oh, no.
On that front.
Oh, no.
I would like to resign as person who puts this bleep together. That's a formal position.
That's not news. That's a request. Request denied.
I am resigning from my post. It is a thankless job. A lot of work goes into it, and all I get from every single one of you is poison. It's ruined relationships here.
Wow. It has.
It's interpersonal poison. And I'm good with whoever takes over. If they want to decide to do away with it, that's their call. I am not in charge of this anymore.
So there'll be a lot less Nicolas Cage-related penalties.
There's going to be a lot less penalties potentially, period, because whoever decides to take over can just say, we're not doing it. I've been blamed for this thing unfairly. And
you're making up the rules as you go along.
I've been blamed with it being my idea, but I was pressured into creating an idea.
Right.
Okay, and
it's totally my idea that I stole from the morning show down here in Miami.
I've been made a convenient scapegoat, and all your anger, your vitriol, your text, I've seen it all, and I'm done with it. I'm resigning.
Hey, at least you're the GOAT.
Have you discussed this with Sarah? I mean, she's the commissioner.
I don't know who's going to replace me.
I hope no one replaces you because I'm tired of that thing. I don't want to do it anymore. I'm telling you.
All right, fine. Whoever is in charge, you can go ahead and decide that we're not doing it anymore.
Roy, you want it?
Yeah, no.
Okay.
Has there been some shark jumping going on with the Grid of Death?
Potentially. I don't want to do it anymore. That's what I'm saying. I'll do it if you guys want to keep doing it. I'll do whatever punishments you guys... I don't want to get the blame.
Guillermo, you want it? You want it?
No, I would kill it immediately.
Do you have the sound of Guillermo eating a raw onion? This is one of the punishments on the Grid of Death. Guillermo did this. He had to take a bite into a raw onion because his team lost that week in the NFL, and then he spent the next 5 days in the hospital.
No, well, there's more to it than that. It wasn't just my team lost. It was the stupid fan choice helmet, and they got to choose the worst team for me possible, and then they got to choose my punishment. So I had no control that week whatsoever. These fans, all of a sudden, who got to choose my team and my punishment, disappeared when the hospital bill came.
If I outdress you, you still have to do Grid of Death this year.
You don't want these problems, Izzy.
Izzy, are you going shorts or long pants?
I'm definitely going short pants.
That's your first mistake.
No, I'm telling you right now, I am kicking anyone who wears pants, okay, in the middle of August to my course, 110 degrees, you're getting kicked out.
Capris count?
I think you have to show your knees.
No, this is... No, I didn't sign up for this. Mid-range Mikey plays best in pants.
Fine, no knees, but you have to show your nipples.
Whoa. I'll show my knees. I'll take knees.
Don Batard.
I feel terrible.
Here's the thing with you. You don't actually feel terrible.
I didn't feel a thing, to be honest with you. I don't really care.
I know. You announcing I feel terrible is just your way to move on to the next terrible thing you're going to do.
Stugotz.
They're just words, and words mean nothing to you.
They don't mean nothing. His words mean nothing.
Words are just transitions to your next lie.
That's so right. They're not words. They are bridges to lies.
This is the Don Le Batard Show with the Stugotz on ESPN Radio.
ESPN Radio is presented by Progressive Insurance. Guests on the Dan Le Batard Show appear via the Shell Pennzoil Performance Line. And now your SportsCenter update. The Nationals have traded second baseman Daniel Murphy to the Cubs for prospects and either a player to be named later or cash considerations. The Nationals also traded Matt Adams to the Cardinals for cash considerations. Arizona Wildcats basketball player Ira Lee is facing charges of super extreme DUI for having a blood alcohol level twice the legal limit. And finally, a small jet carrying hip-hop artist Post Malone landed safely at New York's Stewart Airport after blowing out 2 tires during takeoff yesterday and circling the greater New York City area for nearly 4 hours. I landed, guys. Thank you for your prayers. Can't believe how many people wished death on me on this website. Bleep you, not today, Post tweeted. Before it's too late, make sure to get your NFL and college football tickets at Vivid Seats. Vivid Seats even has an exclusive offer for our ESPN listeners. Go to vividseats.com and enter promo code ESPN at checkout to get 10% off your order. Vivid Seats is the official ticket partner of ESPN. For all the latest headlines and information, tune into SportsCenter on ESPN Radio all throughout the day.
All right, Dan returns next week. The Sueys return next week. They are our Oscars, our Academy Awards, our Herbies. That's what they are. And by the way, Super Team, NBA, there's another one. We'll get to it next segment. But first, the sueys. So next week is, we do our sueys for 2018. To whet your appetite a little bit, we play a suey for you, just to whet your appetite and give you an idea for some of the new listeners out there what the sueys are. It's really a recap of the year. It's an award show. It's our Oscars. It's our Herbies. And here is last year's suey for Best Fake.
And now, the suey nominees for Best Fake. Greg Cody's fake Mickey Mouse.
Eisner.
What was that? What was that sound?
Was that Mickey Mouse just saying Eisner?
Eisner. Is Eisner still in charge of the company? I'm an 88-year-old mouse. They still have me wearing little boy pants. I'm trying to talk him into wearing a nice pair of gabardine slacks. Minnie, bring Daddy another scotch.
Dan's fake Lavar Bowl.
I'm undefeated. Never lost.
Mike Ryan's fake Lavar Bowl.
I need insults. I never lost.
Dan's fake Fat Albert.
Hey.
Chris Cody's fake Fat Albert.
Hey.
Mike Ryan's fake Fat Albert.
Hey. Thank you.
Hey. Roy's fake Fat Albert.
Hey.
Stugotz fake Fat Albert.
Hey.
Guillermo's fake Fat Albert.
Hey.
Allison's fake Fat Albert.
This is super weird. No,
do it.
Come on. Just let it go.
I can't. No.
Come on, just go.
This is going to be a long time of silence.
Go, come on. No, just go.
Come on. Do it in the mic.
Hey. That's it.
I'll take it. Thank you.
Guillermo's fake Principal Baldwin laugh. Listener's fake Ed Orgeron.
Watch out for that Jim Tom Sula now.
Mina Kimes fake Rocky Balboa.
So at the end, and then they kiss, and then it's like a moral victory, you might say.
Dan's fake Alan Thicke.
Oh, that's delightful.
Mike Ryan's fake Alan Thicke.
Alan mentioned the Tortorella position, and that's how Robin was conceived.
I do a really lousy impression of Stugotz and Mike Ryan, and it's a one-way street there.
I've got a couple other things. You could call it a fresh start initiative. I can't wait for Team Europe and Team Canada to play. I'll just settle up on my stool, sip on a nice gazpacho, and watch the world's finest hockey. And remind me, Alan, next time I want to tell the story about how Cuba Gooding Jr. and I drank horchata out of an ice sculpture at Luke Robitaille's luge tournament.
Hey, he's been working on that.
Dan's fake Russian accent.
Bouquet of gardenias. Hot hashtag erotica.
Mike Ryan's fake Russian accent.
Dimitri, what is bouquet gardenia? I collect the heart and then I log out, right? Off the Kurt Rambis' account.
Book Shamby's fake Sean Connery.
Give us a ping, Vasily. One ping only, please.
Dan's fake Sean Connery.
Give them a ping, Vasily. One ping only.
Mike Ryan's fake Sean Connery.
It might be the holiday season, but this is a good gift for any occasion. Wanderer is the new line of shower products from the good folks at Dollar Shave Club. They believe you should be cleaner. Now, here's the very dirty Stugotz.
Sebastian Bach's fake Sean Connery.
Because it's fabulous to write a book that is impactful.
Sebastian Bach with us on ESPN Radio. No! Stop doing this!
007. 007.
He will not give up.
I want to talk about your book, man.
Mike Ryan's fake Elton from Clueless.
Brittany Murphy, look over here. Give me your hand. Rolling with the homie.
Dan's fake Jimmy Walker.
So if Jimmy Walker was ever under a similar circumstance, similar trial, and he came out of that trial with dynamite,
right?
You would find
correct.
that strange.
That's correct. Yes, thank you.
Yeah. Do you have a dynamite, Dan?
Yeah, Dan, do that one.
Do it dynamite, yeah.
Dynamite!
Oh, wow. The clap.
Yeah. Dan's fake Kevin Harlan.
When you have the hammer, you gotta use it.
Mike Ryan and Frank Caliento's fake Mel Kiper Jr.
Somebody you gotta look out for is Tim Biakapatuka. He's a guy that you can definitely trust in pass protection. Definitely a guy that will make your team better.
Caliendo, where you at?
I'm not exactly sure what's going on here, but that's the point of the Le Batard show.
That's right.
Throw someone into a situation they don't know what's happening, and you feel as awkward as possible, and try and fight through, and then never talk to Dan again.
Super awkward. I'm in my phone contact list right now, looking for Mel Kiper's number, trying to produce his show, trying to do this comedic bit that I believe is failing. I'm wearing a leopard print suit. I am sweating in all the wrong places. It's really riding up. Definitely some chase.
I think Mike's Mel Kiper is better than Frank's Mel Kiper.
That's one of the things you're going to try and figure out along the show lines here, that you're going to end up understanding that Caliendo doesn't really have anything down. He just is a conduit for other people to do more incredible things,
right.
And eventually it's over.
Mike Ryan, fake Chuck Klosterman.
Come on again next week because I like talking to you. So come on again.
Well, I'm always here.
All right. Thank you, sir. I didn't even read the text because I lost the shipping container in the middle of that.
Oh, I thought it went well.
We're in the midst of tax season.
Pablo, get your papers ready.
Mike Ryan's fake Marv Albert.
Yes.
Mike Ryan's fake John Lovitz in Bad Boy.
What you just gave us was limited fake John Lovitz as Will Smith's character in Bad Boys, Mike Lowry.
Yeah, that's a ticket.
Let me hear John Lovitz introduce himself again.
Let me listen to his voice in cue.
No, you had it.
I did?
You did it correctly. You did.
I'm Mike Lowry. Thank you. There it is.
Yes.
Mike Lowry. Thank you.
Chris Cody's fake Tim Kirshen.
Limited fake Tim Kirchner. What do the Royals have to do to make the playoffs?
Dan, the Royals are really good.
Mike Ryan's fake guy enjoying a top 5 burger.
Oh, wow,
so good.
This is the greatest burger ever. Oh, God.
Denzel Washington's fake Oscars acceptance speech for virtuosity.
Let me do my acceptance speech for virtuosity. Okay, ladies and gentlemen of the Academy, I want to thank you when you were so kind and, oh no, I'm not humble enough. Let me start again. No, I got to get the tears going. Wait a minute. Ladies and gentlemen of the Academy, I'm just so humbled that you recognize my great action abilities and virtuosity, and I want to thank the director, even though I forgot his name, and
Mike Ryan and Chris Cody's fake Gruden brothers playing hide and seek.
No, I love my brother, man. He's over here, actually. He's looking for his quarterback over here.
Yeah, where's Robert and Kirk?
I love that, man.
What would it sound like if the Gruden brothers were teaming up to play hide and go seek?
I love that game. Hey, you count, okay?
1, 2, 3.
Don't forget about 4. I love 4.
4, Robert.
I'm out here playing with your quarterbacks, man.
Ready or not, man. Here I come.
Try to not look under the...
Hey, I see you, man. Tag, man.
Pappy's fake Cubs goat.
Who's that? Who is that?
That's the goat. The goat is out.
Oh, the goat. Okay, I thought. All right, so the goat, the curse of the goat. Okay, thank you. Thank you. Excellent analysis.
All right.
Show me the money.
Suey's coming up next week, 2018. But coming up next, new super team in the NBA. I'll tell you about it.
You can listen to the Dan Le Batard Show with the Stugotz 10 to 1 Eastern on ESPN Radio, and you can watch on ESPN News.